Hello and welcome back to Goalside. Before we begin, don't forget to participate in our lottery and get a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is like our video, subscribe to our channel, and write the hidden message you'll find later in the video in the comments. Good luck! In the past, many professional footballers have been accused of crimes, and some have also served jail time. Many times, cases have led to out-of-court settlements, and sometimes players pay large fines and move on from the episode. However, there have been instances where football players had to face the long arm of the law. With footballers often being huge role models, it can be a huge blow to their fans to hear that they have been accused of or have committed a crime. It serves as a reminder that nobody is above the law. Today, we've compiled a list of football players who have found themselves in trouble with the police. In some cases, the players have rehabilitated, and in others, their careers hit rock bottom and they struggled ever since. There are definitely tons of cases out there that we might be missing out on. If you feel that we've missed something, do let us know in the comments. Of course, some of the crimes committed by these individuals are troubling to hear about, so viewer discretion is advised. With that, let's begin. Leigh Hughes. At the age of 43, Leigh Hughes, former West Bromwich Albion star, is still playing football. Back in the day, the Englishman scored almost 100 goals in 6 seasons at the Hawthorns. However, in 2003, something happened that changed everything for the promising striker. Hughes lost control of his car at high speed, colliding with another vehicle, killing one occupant, Douglas Graham, and injuring the other 2 occupants. Hughes and his passenger left the scene and turned themselves in to police over a day later. On the 9th of August 2004, Hughes was found guilty of causing death by dangerous driving and was sentenced to 6 years imprisonment. After his release in 2007, the player admitted that it was a huge mistake. "I still think about it all the time. It's hard. It was the biggest mistake of my life. I wish I could change it, but I can't. The only way I can get over it is to improve myself as a person. Prison traumatized me. I never thought I would be in there. I never thought I would make such a stupid mistake." Joey Barton. The former England international always had the reputation of a strongman and someone who would go berserk if things weren't going in his favour. The Manchester City Academy product has been in legal trouble a few times. In May 2007, Barton was involved in a training ground fracas with teammate Ousmane Dabo, who pressed charges. He was given a 4-month suspended sentence for that. At Christmas in 2007, he was involved in a fight in Liverpool city centre, spending New Year's behind bars. He served 74 days in Strangeways for assault and affray. Rene Higuita. The Colombian international should be considered as one of the most amazing goalkeepers to have graced the game. With a unique style when it comes to making saves, remember that scorpion kick? Higuita was an insane talent. However, in 1993, the shot stopper was imprisoned after being involved in the kidnapping of Carlos Molina's daughter. Higuita was acting as the go-between for Molina and Pablo Escobar. While he did not perpetrate the crime, he was reimbursed to the tune of $64,000 for delivering ransom money and securing the release of the victim. Despite this, Colombian law states one cannot profit from a kidnapping, and so Higuita was incarcerated for 7 months before being released without charge. Because of his incarceration, he missed the 1994 FIFA World Cup. Tony Adams. The Arsenal legend had been fighting with alcoholism pretty much his entire career, but in the May of 1990, his issues caught up with him big time when he ended up crashing his car into a wall near his residence. The breathalyzer confirmed that the defender was 4 times above the legal limit, which resulted in a 4-month prison sentence. Adam Johnson. In December 2014, then Sunderland player Adam Johnson started communicating with a 15-year-old fan on social media. In January the following year, Johnson met her in person in his car and signed 2 Sunderland shirts for her. Later, they met again and they kissed. In March, Johnson was arrested on suspicion of having sexual activity with an underage girl and was charged with 3 counts of sexual activity with a child under 16 and 1 of child grooming, to which he pled not guilty. In 2016, he pled guilty to 1 count of sexual activity with an underage girl and 1 count of grooming. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison and was released in 2019. Adam Chapman. The Irish midfielder's career hadn't even taken off when he was sent to prison for the death of Tom Bryan due to reckless driving. The youngster was sentenced to 30 months at the Young Offenders Institute. At the time, Chapman had only just signed for Oxford United after struggling to break into Sheffield United's first team. Clearly, spending so much time in prison didn't really affect the young midfielder's overall development, and he would go on to have a decent-ish career in the lower rungs of English football. Since then, the Irish midfielder has moved on from the incident and is now making a good career playing football in the lower echelons of English football. Breno Borges. The former Brazil under-23 international's career was on the right track at Bayern Munich, where he was considered an up-and-coming talent, but that was all to be cut short. Breno was arrested by the Munich police after a warrant was issued for suspicion of suppression of evidence. The prosecutor deemed Breno to be a possible flight risk. The reason for the arrest was suspicion of aggravated arson, with his €1.5 million villa having been almost completely and suspiciously destroyed. In 2012, Breno was sentenced to 3 years and 9 months in prison. However, it has to be said that Bayern Munich never forgot about their player, and once the sentence was completed, Breno was given a job as a trainer for the club's under-23 side. Ruben Semedo. At the age of 25, Ruben Semedo's promising career should have taken off. However, the product of Sporting Lisbon's fabled academy started getting on the wrong side of the law at a very young age. In January 2018, the defender was brought to trial after allegedly brandishing a pistol and making threats during a bar altercation in Valencia. In February 2018, Ruben was arrested again for allegedly tying up and assaulting a man alongside 2 other people before burgling the victim. The youngster was charged with attempted murder and spent 4 months in preventative detention. Bruno Fernandes. So before we talk about this crime, let us just clear the confusion. When we say Bruno Fernandes, we definitely do not mean the Manchester United player who's literally dragged his team out from obscurity to a position of relevance. The highly rated goalkeeper's star was on the rise, and he was considered one of the most promising goalkeepers produced by Brazil in recent memory. This was a few years before the Seleção gave us some truly amazing shot stoppers in the shape of Alisson Becker and Ederson. In 2010, the Flamengo goalkeeper's mistress went missing after claiming she was having his child and suing him for refusing to support this child. Bruno was charged with murder, kidnapping, hiding a body, forming a criminal gang conspiracy, and corrupting minors. According to police, Bruno's teenage cousin stated that the mistress's body was cut up and some parts were fed to dogs, while other parts were buried under concrete. In 2017, the player was released from prison. Despite his past, Boa Esporte Club ended up offering him a contract. Nizar Trabelsi. Back in 1989, German side Fortuna Düsseldorf paid a decent amount of money to secure the signature of Tunisian midfielder Nizar Trabelsi. It was supposed to be a dream move, but it didn't really work out, with the midfielder struggling to realise his true potential before ending his career in 1995. His vices, including cocaine, started the downfall of a man who could have achieved so much in his career. After being suspected of having close links to Al-Qaeda, Trabelsi was arrested by Belgian authorities in 2001. He was suspected of plotting to attack the US Embassy in Paris, and it was alleged that he was to be the designated suicide bomber. In June 2003, Trabelsi was incarcerated for planning a suicide bombing attack on a US airbase in Kleine Brogel, Belgium. For several years, the United States has been trying to extradite Trabelsi to the country, but nothing happened. This was our list of 10 footballers who got on the wrong side of the law. We hope you find the video interesting.